evening. Today is June 20th, and this is The View with Catherine Chang. Today's topic is China's other-than-war military operations. Chinese President Xi signed a new order called Military Operations Other Than War on June 13th. Analysts said that it will lead to an aggressive military movement around Taiwan. Why? Here are some points. A. The so-called military operations other than war comprises 59 articles and 6 chapters. It will provide the legal basis for Chinese troops to carry out missions like disaster relief, humanitarian aid, but most importantly, safeguard China's national sovereignty. What does it mean by saying China's national sovereignty? Does Taiwan as a sovereign country violate the so-called China's national sovereignty? If so, will China undertake the so-called military operation other than war against Taiwan? B. It reminds me of Russia's special operation against Ukraine. Russia President Pei-Ying said that the invasion of Ukraine is not a war, but it is only a special operation. Looks how many people die in Ukraine. I think what happens in Ukraine is more than a war. It is a brutal massacre. C. The other-than-war order took effect on June 15th, and which is the day that Chinese President Xi celebrated his 69th birthday. Here are the top stories. Today, we had more than 30,000 domestic cases. First, I want to talk about the US-Taiwan Policy overhaul sought by senators in new legislations. 2 leading U.S. senators have introduced the Taiwan Policy Act of 2022, which will provide $4.5 billion in defense assistance to Taiwan over the next 4 years. U.S. Senator Bob Menendez said that the legislations would send a clear message to Beijing not to make the same mistake with Taiwan that Vladimir Putin had made in Ukraine. U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham also said that the danger will only grow worse if we show weakness in the face of Chinese threats and aggressions toward Taiwan. On the other hand, we see that the next U.S. elections may prove the most dangerous time for Taiwan. According to veteran American diplomat Charles Freeman, and he said that the years of 2024 and 2025 might prove the most dangerous time for Taiwan if a new U.S. president who supports the island's independence is elected. He also said that this is a direct challenge to Beijing of exactly the sort that the anti-cession law in China requires a military response to. Moreover, U.S. one-China policy remains unchanged. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan affirms the one-China policy and emphasizes that the approach will effectively enable the U.S. to deter Chinese aggression. And he said that Beijing was increasingly engaged in activities that are threatening peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. It is important for the U.S. to uphold the principles of peace and oppose China's destabilizing actions. In addition, Taiwan and the U.S. to talk trade on June 27th. Minister without portfolio John Deng said that both sides would not engage in more in-depth substantial talks until Taiwan and the United States have completed related preparations, including talking with private businesses. Also, John Deng proposed the strategy that Taiwan should hold the strengths of advanced semiconductor technology to counter China. And he said that as Taiwan dominates the global chip production market, I hope to decrease the 40% share of its exports that go to China to intimidate their invading actions. In the end, I want to share with you that Taiwan sports beat back Chinese players in championship. Taiwanese badminton star Dai Ziying won against China's player Wang Zhiyi in the women's single at the Badminton World Federation Indonesia Open. And Taiwanese paddler Lin Yunju swept China's player Shang Peng in the men's single event and won the championship in the World Table Tennis Contender Zagreb. Well, that is really good news. Well, this is The View with Catherine Chang from Taipei, and today is Monday. I hope you all have a nice Monday, and I'll see you again.